Good morning, guys and girls. Today we're going to be talking about, I'd call it a fairly rare encounter species. It's something that a lot of people might have seen, but not necessarily would have caught. So it's something that will be sort of spoken about, but never, maybe not encountered per se. That is the grey chub. Now, you do get a few different chub species. The one we get most often is the grey chub, and that's Kyphosis bigibus. It's quite an interesting little name there. Now, the chub as a species is similar to a bronze bream in shape, except imagine a bronze bream but not as deep, so a little bit shallower. It's more of a torpedo-y kind of shape. Very pronounced fins, nice very big tail, and an overall browny greyish kind of colour. With they've got very interesting, almost like a catface rockcod, where they got the stripes on the face like that. That kind of gives them away. So now that body shape, the streamlining with their fins are flat, and the big fins kind of allude to where they operate. They're shallow water species. They enjoy your rocky gullies and any sort of foamy ledges and things like that, where it's a lot of working water, a lot of water movement, and they use their tail and their fins like that to move around and feed in there. Like a bronze bream, they are vegetarian, so they graze on that green algae that sits all the way along, and the red stuff. They do sort of mix it up every now and again. Got to keep it vibrant. So they've got very small teeth that sit on the front, and they actually graze. They graze on the things they put off the weed like that with their teeth. When it comes to actually targeting them, they are one of my favorite species to actually target. You go to your rocky gullies, look for your very shallow working water, similar to stuff like where you're going to get blacktail, bronze bream, all of that. The bait I found that's caught me more grey chub than any other bait is a single cracker shrimp. So not putting a chunk or three of them or a piece of prawn with a whole lot around, but just a single cracker on quite a small hook, and on a fairly long trace, so something about sort of 40 thereabouts with a slightly longer sinker. So your average scratching trace, just a little bit more movement, and obviously putting that into the likely areas. It's got a lot of movement to it. They've got fairly big eyes for their size, so they can see if you're using a thicker hook snoot or a giant hook with a big bait and things like that. They don't enjoy that. Other baits than that, obviously no one really fishes with algae or seaweed. It's not like bronze bream. You're more working on that the occasional eating of the crustaceans that are in the actual weed itself. So you're going to work on your prawn baits, occasionally a blob bait, things like that, but I'd say pink prawn, red prawn, langoustine, and your crackers is going to be your four baits that you're going to stick to. And keep your baits nice and thin and nice and small. You don't want these big bulky baits like you do with the bronze bream, where you put, say, 3 prawns in one. It's a little tip there. Try making your bronze bream baits bigger. They actually bite harder. But yeah, keep your baits small. Look in those sort of foamy waters, and you should be good to go to catch them. Tackle-wise, light tackle. The lighter the better with scratching, to a degree. Ultralight, you are going to get cut up. I've been cut off by these fish before. They are hellishly strong in the shallow water. Obviously, the lighter the tackle, the more you're going to enjoy the fight. Now, in terms of sizing and where you're going to get them, pretty much false bay up to Mozambique. They're along most of our eastern coast. Size-wise, they get to 75 centimeters and about 10 kilos. That's a phenomenal fish. I mean, I've got them up to about 2 or so, and that's maybe a little bit more, up to about 3.5. But your average fish is going to be about 1 kilo on our coast, maybe pushing to about that 5 kilo. A 10 kilo fish is just, geez, unheard of really on our coast. But yeah, they do get that big, so maybe one day someone will get them. And yeah, they're strong fish. They're very good in the shallow water. They operate there very nicely. They fight very hard. Similar to bronze bream in eating quality and things like that. So if you do want to keep 1 or 2, go ahead, but obviously limit your catch, don't catch your limit. And yeah, one of those interesting species, the great chub. Cheers.